We are at the end of day 36 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry, Tranche 2, Phase 2. We have been listening to even more evidence from the former undercover officer HN1. I'm not sure if you heard the first, that is day 36. End of the day, I'm joined with Donal O'Driscoll from the Undercover Research Group. We've just had the end of the second day of evidence on HM1. A lot of the questions this afternoon related to his infiltration of the live export demonstrations that were taking place at Shoreham, Dover and at Coventry Airport. We heard about the death of Jill Phipps. She was a campaigner who was killed by a lorry at Coventry Airport. He wrote a bunch of reports predicting all sorts of terrible things that would happen after that, none of which did. This seems to be a hallmark of his reports. A lot of predictions, which came out not to be true. Donal, what did you make of today's evidence?
Hard work. Yet again, he's like, I'm the person who's really trusted, and I would have known this. I didn't know anything. I sat in the background. I was a wallflower, and I was just like, oh, come on, mate, give it a break. This is not washing after the umpteenth time. It's like, we said yesterday, it's like he has this reputation and something he's up for it, but he will not accept this. He's the cerebral person that everybody talks to, but he doesn't do any action. And when he goes to a home visit, I didn't really go to a home visit. I just stood at the back and maybe shouted a little bit. And you just go, oh, come on. What? Who are you trying to convince here? Because there's not anybody in this inquiry that's going to do it. And it was noticeable just how much his accent has changed.
Yeah. I mean, it's really noticeable, actually. At the beginning, he was very, 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 very posh. And like, I was like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Yesterday afternoon, I was like, I'm recognising this voice from somewhere. I can't think where, but still can't think where. Still bothering me. Still got an itch on my brain about it. But then as time went on, Oh, right, I've just been told as a member of staff they're very keen to go home. We won't be very long. We only do this about 10 minutes. All right, no worries. But yeah, today his voice he's like kind of lost that pretense. He's no longer like I'm a member of the establishment quite so much.
He's just a butler now. He's just sat there, serving up the intelligence. What do you want to hear? What do you want to have justified? Yeah. What can we make our masters look good? Yeah. That was the other thing that really jumped out to me. It's just like, he's supposed to be just like really good agent for things, like, but nobody told him in the bus that they were going to, think of going on the entry. It's like, I want to know, it's like, what did your manager say when you got back to the office? It's like, so all these activists ran on, 75 million lost to the betting industry. Fine, as far as I was concerned. But, and like you go back to your boss and I was in the bus, I drove them there, and I didn't tell you because I didn't know. It's like, did he not get a massive bollocking for that?
Yeah. I mean, there was one that was about an action at a slaughterhouse in some sort of rural setting in a farm, and his report says, everybody got off the bus, went in, and he's I didn't go into that's for sure. I don't remember, but it's for sure that I didn't go into the farm complex. And I said, Paul, were you the only one? Oh, no, I wasn't the only one. So why does your report say that everybody went in? Oh, well, and it's like, well, he's either lying now or he was lying then. Which one is it?
Well, he keeps doing this all the way through. It's like you have the one where his name's taken out of the report because it was to be distributed. People say, and then they would have added my name in because it was being distributed. And it's just like, make up your mind, but none of this makes sense. Yeah. It's like, think your excuse is true at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This seems to be what happens. I mean, this is something I've got from Alison, who always says it, is that what they're doing is that they're speaking to an audience of their personal friends and golf buddies or whatever, and they've got to walk this fine line that fits in with everything they've been saying to their friends and family for the last 30 years.
And also their own mental justification of who they are, because they know that they lied and cheated and betrayed their own partners. It's like that. But their way of dealing with that guilt isn't like, to be honest, human beings go, I did something wrong. It's like, no, I did it for Queen and Country.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, they've got to be very important, but they don't want to be too important because that would have undermined the whole thing. I mean, it's just a farce.
Yeah, it's very true. It's like they have an inflated sense of who they are, and it's not standing up to like the very clever questioning. It's like, oh, But what about this? But you say this. It's like, have you, as ranking police officers, surely you actually did a bit of preparation and read your own witness statement, because it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And I mean, particularly HN1, amongst all of them, he doesn't seem to have been following the inquiry at all. I mean, we have had witnesses who were very well briefed about what previous witnesses have said about them before they've come in for questioning. Not the case with HN1.
No, he believes he's above all of this. Within the first day, it's like he thinks he's doing the inquiry a service by just turning up and cooperate. It's like, well, yeah, you should be. You're an abuser.
Yeah, and a quick word for Emma Gargata, because we are going to have to finish earlier. I've had two members of staff coming over with pleading puppy dog eyes, really wanting to go home, and that's fair enough. Emma Gargata, I think, has done a really good job. I've said before, I was a bit disappointed it wasn't Bar, but I think she's doing a really good job. She's managing to get him to name managers as being responsible for reports where he's trying to disown himself, so he just drops somebody else in it. And you can tell he doesn't want to, but he kind of painted himself into a corner, and she makes him do it.
Yeah, no, he's got the same tactic as yesterday, but he can't actually realise that all he's doing is selling his own friends out, and the unit that he's really loyal to. And yeah, she's clearly on top of a huge amount of work, and managing to put his feet to the fire to make his story unravel.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're getting puppy dog eyes from the members of staff, so I think we'll probably have to call that. Anything else you want to add?
We're back tomorrow for another day of scintillating truth.
Yeah, there is one more day. We have heard that it's likely to go over from tomorrow. We will be finishing tomorrow at 5, apparently, but they're going to have to fit in somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, it won't be next week.
It won't be next week. No, we're fully full next week, so it might be that the hearings go into February. They can't. Hope they don't go too far into February, quite frankly, but we will see. Thanks for joining. See you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll be doing a Twitter Spaces this evening. Join in with that. If there's anything that we should have said now, I'll put it in the Twitter Spaces. All right, thanks for joining. Bye for now.